What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Mr. Filmstock podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Filmstock. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening to this as an audio podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, or if you're watching this as a video podcast on my YouTube channel at Mr. Filmstock. It's youtube.com/Mr. Filmstock. The admiration, I want to say the appreciativeness that I have for all of you fans for downloading, listening, and giving great positive feedback for my podcast is one of the most humblest things I could ever thank you for doing. And it's just been a blast talking about it. Like I said, I was very hesitant for a while to restart my podcast, but I have that kick going and it's been fun and I've been enjoying it a lot, and I have listeners from all over the world, which is really surprising, and it's absolutely mind-blowing and fun. This week's episode, I will be talking about pop culture conventions, comic cons, toy conventions, video game conventions, the aspect of how did pop culture conventions become so big in the last 20 years. Well, it's the aspect of what is a pop culture convention, because not enough of that really existed about 30 years ago. Now, you had San Diego Comic-Con, which started in March of 1970. That was more so a mini con, kind of, in a way, which kind of pushed it forward to raise funding for an August convention. So there were two conventions held in 1970, and the real San Diego Comic-Con happened August of 1970, which was called the Golden State Comic-Con. Now, over the years from 1970 up until now, 2024, the attendance record at these Comic-Con conventions, San Diego Comic-Con to be precise, has gone up drastically. You had 300 in attendance for August 1st to the 3rd, 1970. Just think about that. 1970, you had 300 people. In July of 2024, you had close to 150,000+ people over one weekend attending San Diego Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con is the biggest Comic-Con that's happened stateside for entertainment, for anything you can imagine, and has grown to include a large range of pop culture, comic books, and it is the largest convention of its kind worldwide, or in the world. Then you have New York Comic-Con. But then you also have the underlining conventions, the toy conventions, the video game conventions. And then you have the horror conventions, which I have attended 3 times. I've attended Monster Mania Con 50, Monster Mania Con 52, and Monster Mania Con 59, where you have the biggest stars of the 80s of comic books, horror films, and TV shows for that matter. Now, my first show, one of my first conventions I ever went to, was in August of 2022 when I went to Monster Mania Con 50 in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I was like, let me see what this is like, and I had a blast. I met a lot of great celebrities. I met Doug Bradley, who plays Pinhead in Hellraiser. I met Kane Otter, who plays Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th movies. I met Zach Galligan from Gremlins. It's just an array of people I met, and I had a great time. Met a lot of people. I've even met Danielle Harris. I've met the Crypt Keeper, John Kassir, Robin Lively, Heather Langenkamp, Tyler Main, Devin Sawa, Ashley Lawrence, Jonathan Breck, Henry Winkler, and finally, in August of 2024, as I'm recording and I'm, putting this podcast out, I finally met the man himself, Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. He was at the top of my list. So I've met almost all the horror icons of the new generation, from the 1970s up until today. I still have to meet Tony Todd, Candyman, and Brad Dourif as Chucky. But it's just a fun time. These pop culture conventions are immensely so good. You meet a lot of great people as well. Oh, and I do want to mention that I also did meet Melissa Barrera from the Scream movies, Scream 5 and Scream 6. She is such a sweetheart, absolutely stunningly beautiful and so pretty in person. very kind. And I kind of helped at her signing table because a friend of mine was working with her. So I figured, let me help out. It's like, do I want to help out? Sure. Why not? I'm not going to pass up that chance, you know? And it was fun. I had a great time. And there are a lot of conventions around the world. You have them taking place in the UK, Tokyo, Korea. I mean, different states, different countries. Everything has their own pop culture convention, which is really fun. And the biggest one was Philly Expo or Wizard World. Was one of the first ones I went to back in 2014, I want to say, where it was fun, but I didn't know what to expect. It was at the Philadelphia Convention Center, and I met Christopher Lloyd, I met Ralph Macchio, I met Michael Rooker, I met a lot of great celebrities and stars, and it was just an overwhelming success and experience. And within that time, for those 8 years, I was like, man, I really should go to another one. And I decided August 2022 was going to be my next one, and I did that, and it was a blast. I will try and go to every single Comic Con pop culture convention I can, but my main one to go to is going to be San Diego Comic Con, SDCC, or New York Comic Con. Another big one on my list is Steel City Comic Con, but it's just the aspect of when you do go, and I want to do give you some pointers of for this pop culture conventions that you do attend. Have fun, respect others, network, talk to people. You know, you're there with other people who share the same interests as you. Comic books, horror, sci-fi, video games, toys. Talk to everyone. If you see someone that's familiar, be polite, go up to them, be like, hey, I see you on this Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Love what you do, la la yada. And it's really fun. A couple of times, and the first time I went to Monster Mania Con 50 in August of 2022, someone came up to me and was like, are you Mr. Filmstock? I was like, yes. It's like, I watch your YouTube channel. I love it. I was like, wow, thank you. Being recognized outside of the norm and in public is very overwhelming because you don't know what to expect. You're there to see other celebrities. You're there to see your icons, the people you like to watch on film and television. But then when someone else comes up to you and says, hey, I like what you do, it's very fun. It's very heartwarming, and it's really great. And it pushes you to strive and do more, which is really fantastic. And go there, enjoy the time, meet the celebrities. You also have photo ops. Photo ops is just, you can either get an autograph or a selfie at their table for a combo price. Sometimes they charge separately. If you just want an autograph, that's separate. If you want a selfie, that's also separate. But if you want both, you will get both as well for a certain amount of price. And know how much to take with you. Really do. Really know how much you're going to spend on a celebrity, if it's worth it and if you want that. Because sometimes people spend $100, $200 on a celebrity. They get a picture and an autograph. That's good for them. But other celebrities cost about $40, $50, $60, and it's $80 for a combo, which is great. Get that picture. Get that autograph. But then you got to think to yourself, is it better to get a picture or an autograph? That's where you have to, try to figure out. For me, I always like to get selfies because a selfie is something that will last a while, even though autographs will. But with a celebrity autograph, you can just have them email you or mail you an autograph picture, which is fine. But it's very rare where one of these times you can just get a selfie with a celebrity. It's always fun to do. So I recommend always getting the selfie. And sometimes if you get an autograph and they take a selfie with you on your phone, the picture is free. A lot of celebrities do that as well, so be mindful of what the celebrities do, who you're going to see. And I always will say, go see the celebrities who are a little bit older first. Get that out of the way because you're going to see the younger actors, actresses, middle-aged actresses later on. They're going to be back, they're going to be there, and you can just go see them later on. But some have a line out the door. Melissa Barrera had a 2 to 3 hour line wait. And after the convention was closed at 10 and her photo op session was pushed back, she stayed 2 hours later greeting all of her fans. Absolutely heartwarming to see, and she wants everyone to be seen, and she is known for that. She's a phenomenal actress, and she has a big heart where it's just so fun. Just seeing that people wait in line for her and the smiles and the happiness that celebrities bring on people's faces is so, so good. And, it's great to see the behind the scenes of what happens. Now, not only do celebrities have autographs and photo sessions or photo ops or selfies at their table at the conventions, they also have aspects where you can get a photo op, pay for a full price, depending on how much the celebrity is charging, maybe 100 on up, maybe lowest would be 75 to maybe 500 for a group photo of the cast, depending on what the cast is and what the pop culture event is. But get that photo op, stand in line. They give you a ticket. For when I went to Monster Mania Con 59 to see Robert England, I paid way early in advance, like months before, maybe about March or April. Paid for that one day, that group, what group you're part of, give you that ticket. You go in, you can say hi, how are you? Quick little, 10-second convo. They snap your picture, you move on, and that's it. And it's fun. It's great. I had a blast. I really have fun at these conventions, and it's great. I run into a lot of friends. I make new friends, and it's just a great time at these pop culture conventions. I keep saying it. Any chance you get to go, go. I had the most fun at the recent one I went to because I was behind a table with a celebrity. I didn't expect that. Melissa Barrera is doing great things. I can't stress enough how humbling she is. She's a phenomenal, phenomenal actress. And you always get that look. It's like I was walking her to a photo for the photo op session along with my friend who was working with her at the convention that day, and you get the looks like, who is that guy with her? Why is he walking with her? Who is that? It's just fun, and then seeing her interact with celebrities, seeing her interact with fans, really, really great. Not only that, Tony Revolori was there, and Mikey Madison was also there. So these pop culture conventions are fun. They're great. Know who you want to see. Know how much money you're taking, and dress up in your favorite cosplay. Do that. Don't be afraid. Just dress up. Have fun. Because you're in a costume and everyone is in a costume around you. No one's gonna bat an eye. You're just gonna sit there, enjoy your time, and really, really have fun. Know what days you're gonna go. Plan accordingly, and it's just a blast. What can I say other than the Comic Con conventions are really, really fun. You have different things for different conventions. You have Walking Dead conventions. You have San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con. You have Supernatural Comic Con. Like, you have so many conventions for so many things. Video game conventions. You even have VidCon for YouTube. Like, that's insane. Like, it's just so crazy, and it's just a fun time. And when you see other people around you enjoying themselves like you enjoy yourself for seeing certain things, it's just so, so great. The experience is great. It's really, really good. And I don't know, it's like the entertainment element across all genres is there. And it's just really, really good. When you go to these conventions, know who you're going to see. And I keep stressing it enough because one celebrity might have a long line. Another celebrity who you don't want to see might have a small line. But if you don't want to see them anyway. Because you will, you'll get to them quicker than someone else will. Just know who you're going to see, how much money you're going to take with you to spend, what the prices are for the celebrities at their table. A lot of places do post on their social media accounts or their websites about how many or how much people are at the table, certain things. Some websites don't do that, so it's a little bit iffy, but as I was helping out with Melissa Barrera behind the table and, talking to the fans and, how much they love her and everything. I also got to know the workers that work behind the scenes because I was with a friend of mine, and she also does these pop culture conventions all over stateside, and it's ridiculous. She does it on weekends, and she is with different actors and actresses. Before, she used to be with Norman Reedus. She used to be with a lot of the Walking Dead people, and she used to be with Tom Atkins, and now she's with Melissa Barrera. So it's going to be great to see how much of a bigger, wide audience pop culture conventions does receive and does get. And then you have actors and actresses who you think should be part of these pop culture conventions, but they're not. There are big ones who I say, like Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter coming in. He will have a big line. Johnny Depp would have the hugest line because he was in A Nightmare on Elm Street, and you put him with Henry Langdon-Camp and Robert Englund. All those three, oh my god, so insane. Keanu Reeves, like, can you imagine? Like, if Sigourney Weaver came to one of these horror conventions, her line would be out the door too, because people adore her because she's so good in the Alien movies, and she's so good in anything else that she does as well. But it's the respectability of these celebrities that really, really people like. They are people just like us. You talk to them. I was talking to Melissa Barrera, and it was just fun. It was great. And I was talking to Tony Revelari, and it was just, they were literally like face to face, and it was really, really fun. And it was a humbling experience, and I can't take that away from myself. And I really, really do thank my friend for, having me tag along with her, because it was great. I'm not going to say this is going to be the last time, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be more moments where I interact with celebrities, and you just don't get starstruck because they're normal people like us, and it's really, really fun. So that my experience at Monster Mania Con 59 was really, really good. And like I said, any other Comic Con conventions, pop culture, wherever you are, whatever city, state you travel to, enjoy it, love it, have fun, dress up in cosplay, go to the toy conventions, go to the video game conventions, buy that toy you always wanted, buy that video game you always wanted, have that collectible. You want that movie poster signed? Have that movie poster signed. Just go and have a good goddamn time and have fun with life, because that's the only time you're going to get to have fun. Maybe, I don't know, but it's so good, it's great, and definitely pick where you want to go, what celebrities you want to see, micromanage, know when to stand in line, know how long the venues are, know how long they're open till, what time they open. They also have VIP packages and everything, but it's really, really great and really, really fun that I can't stress enough. It's so, so fun. And I'm going to be definitely attending more conventions for sure later in the future. So if you do see me at one of these Comic Cons, these pop culture conventions, come up to me, say hi to me. Anthony, Mr. Filmstock, I love it. Just come up. I really approachable, and take a picture, and just tag me in it on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are on social media. Just do that, and it would be really, really fun. I love making new friends. I love talking to people. It's a great, great time. I always thought of myself as an introvert, but when I go to these things, I'm such an extrovert. It's just, I keep saying this word, it's a humbling experience, and it is a very, very big humbling experience. I do want to say that if you do want to look at where your next pop culture convention is, or convention schedules, there is a website called fancons.com. It's fancons.com. Go to that website, go to the year, and it will give you a huge list of the pop culture conventions from January up until December. So January 1st to December 31st of that said year will show you every single pop culture convention happening worldwide. Yes, worldwide. You heard that correctly. And even past events, which is really, really great. So kudos, and I commend the people who run fancons.com, because they really put an effort into it. And just look, you could spend hours on that website reading where you want to go and who you want to see. If you're in one state and you see something close by or not too far in your state, which is like a 3-5 hour drive, go to that convention. Have fun. If it's 45 minutes, go. If you want to fly, have a little, road trip with your friends and family, go. They also have it broken down by location, which is anywhere. They have the type of convention it is, from anime, comic, costume, fantasy, film festivals. They have furry ones. You just read that and you'll see the gaming, horror, media, sci-fi, steampunk, toy, and video gaming. And the database is insane. It runs from 1889 all the way up to 2030. So Check out fancons.com for your weekly updated scheduling and events for worldwide pop culture conventions. I can't stress enough. That's so much fun, and I hope to see you at one of these conventions. So there you have it, this week's episode of the Mr. Film Stock podcast, discussing the topic of pop culture conventions and Comic Cons. I want to thank you all for listening in. If you're listening on an audio podcast on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, be sure you give a star, leave a like, follow the podcast, leave some feedback. If you're viewing this as a video podcast on my YouTube channel on Mr. Filmstock or youtube.com/Mr. Filmstock, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment on what topics I should talk about. And you can also email me. Yes, you can email me topics I should discuss on my podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Mr. Filmstock, and you've been listening to the Mr. Filmstock podcast.